Welcome back, everybody, to the Dave Knows Comics live stream. I'm your host, David Lee, and yes, we're back in the game again. But this time, instead of a watch party, there's been this cool little meme circulating around on the social media, on the internets. Came to my discovery, so I figure, why not play this game with you guys? Now, I already have my team set in stone. I already know who I'm picking. I already know how I'm breaking this down. But I decided I'm going to share it with you guys. And by doing this live, we're going to let you know who your picks are. We can break it down that way. But yes, of course, I want to hear your input for sure as I slowly reveal my picks and my reasonings for this. Now, in case you're not familiar, as you can see right here next to me is Choose Your Own Adventures. Hey, Ben Espinoza, nice live stream on the wrestling channel. Thank you very much. Sorry for the technical difficulties over on that channel. Hopefully everything is going good right here on the comic channel, so you can hear me everything just fine. Now, so if you are not familiar, there were plenty of kinds of games like this going around. This just happens to be one of them. But since it's comic book related, pretty fun. Hey, Dale, how you doing? But since it's going out there on the social medias, I figure why not bring this about to play. So if you're not familiar with this, here's how the breakdown works. As you can see, thank you, Enigma Toad. Yes, thank you for noticing. If you can see up top on over to my left, whoa, baseball, you don't win, whoa. We're going to be talking about this. So baseball. Captain America. Whoa, okay, whoa, let's talk about this. Whoa. Let's not dart our picks out just yet. Let's have a discussion. So as you can see on the top, it says you only have $15, and all these Avengers are assigned a dollar value. You have $15 to work with. Who is your team? You guys are spouting your teams out really quick. I have a whole thing going here. Okay, but anyway, thank you for being here in the chat. Thank you for all the thumbs up, and let's get going. Okay, so fine. Everybody wants to play super fast. All right, I'm going to break down each one of them. Now, the important thing is, remember, this is specifically MCU. Don't try to mix this up with the comic books. Comic book characters, a little bit different from the MCU characters. So, taking that into account, we're going to have a bit of a difference. Hey, yo, Harry Flynn. Everyone's pointing out their calls already, so take a look at the list. Now, I'm going to start with my first pick. My first pick from the $5 well, let's start with the most expensive, or one of the most expensive, because maybe I have more from this tier, but the top choice is, it's going to be Iron Man. Let's go with Tony Stark on this one. Now, is this a little bit, can you see this coming? Is this a bit predictable? Yeah, maybe, but let's be real here. Well, some people have noticed that in the MCU, Tony Stark has been built up a little bit bigger than he is in the comic books. I understand that, but with that being said, you still got to go with him. Yes, we're dealing with MCU specifically. So, without a shadow of a doubt, Tony Stark is the smartest person on this board. Some people would make the argument that Black Panther's sister Shuri is actually the smartest person in the MCU. Whether that's true, whether that's not, doesn't matter because she's not on the board. She's not over here. So because she is not on this board, Iron Man definitely is, Tony Stark, the smartest guy on this playing field. He's the guy who started off. He's the technological guy. He's the one who figured out time travel. He's the one who did all these things. So in terms of brains, I'm definitely going with Tony first. And also take into account in terms of leadership skills, well, you know, he's not as good as other members like Cap, let's say, or even Black Panther. You can't say he has some leadership skills despite his less than perfect track record, especially as a character grew. So let's go into it. Oh, Vinny Montagna, hey, he's making his team. Hey, he said it again. Vinny Montagna's going with Hawkeye, Spider-Man, Ant-Man, and he doesn't go over budget. Bezos says Thor, Ant-Man, Groot, Scarlet Witch, and Quicksilver. I win. I don't think you win. Well, let's keep talking about this. So guys, yeah, definitely let me know. But that is my first pick, is Iron Man. Smartest guy in the MCU, capable of figuring out time travel, has moderate leadership abilities. How do you not go with him? And of course, was willing to figure out how to make an Infinity Gauntlet and make the sacrifice play. Take it for what you will. In the MCU, he's easily the first purchase that you make. The number 2 pick on this one, for me, is I'm going with, since we already got science and technology down, I have to go with Doctor Strange. Magic is definitely the second biggest component, because with the science tech down already with Iron Man, and you'll notice that I am going with the brain philosophy here. Doctor Strange, very smart individual as well, very capable of deducing all the possible millions of possibilities out there and figure out which one is the best route to go. Doctor Strange, as the master of magic and time specifically, and the unofficial Sorcerer Supreme in the MCU. He's definitely a major component. So how could you not pick that? So let's look at. Oh, Harry Flynn has put his, and he went with Cap, Black Widow, Spider-Man, and Falcon, and he says he wins. You guys say no, man. You guys are sleeping on Iron Man, Doctor Strange. Look, I got the smartest guy in the MCU. First off, second of all, I got the master of magic, the biggest magician on the board, arguably maybe Loki, but on the board right now, I have magic with Doctor Strange. So I don't see. Oh, AA goes for 1.5. Well, you're just doing the dollar amounts. How much you double A? That's one way to look at it. Double A's going with Thor, Spider-Man, and Ant-Man and Loki. Interesting pick. Okay, base up says now. Yeah, challenge me. What's your argument so far for my number two, for the two Sherlock Holmes actors I picked? You got Black Widow. You do Black Widow. I have a feeling I know why you picked Black Widow. Base up says changing and for Doctor Strange, the team is Thor, Strange, Groot, Scarlet Witch, Quicksilver. Yep, you. Okay, well, Doctor Strange. Yeah, I don't know how you started this with Ant-Man. Ant-Man. I don't. Despite the Thanos defense, I don't think he has all that much value in this right now. To spoiler alert, I'm not picking Ant-Man because here's the other part. If you were going to go, let's just say you really, really wanted to go with Ant-Man. He does have his thievery skills, but outside of that, in terms of shrinking, you go with Wasp. She can fly, and she can shrink, and she's a better fighter. The only advantage that Scott Lang has is that he's a better thief. So if you were going to go with a pin particle route, you go with Wasp. You don't go with Hank. You don't go with Scott. That's my opinion. Nico Montoya has chimed in with his team: Captain America, Wasp, Scarlet Witch, Quicksilver, and Ant-Man. You want double? See, now when we're working on a budget, I think we're working on a budget, kind of like my eating strategy lately. You work with what you got. You don't want too much redundancy. You want more bang for your buck. Personally speaking, Scarlet Witch, Ant-Man seems a bit redundant to me. I'm sorry, Wasp. I'm not Scarlet Witch. Wasp and Ant-Man seems a bit redundant. I don't think you need the two of them. And Ant-Man ain't cheap. You could have gotten a lot more mileage if you just got rid of Ant-Man. You know what? Before I keep on to my next picks, let's start reviewing some of the other ones. Well, actually, you know what? I'm going to give you one more pick before I start reviewing some of the other teams you guys picked on. My next pick, this is the biggest steal of the board for sure. Without a shadow of a doubt, this is the biggest get you're going to get. Some of you guys already know who it is. Others you haven't, but this is the easily the number one steal. And if you're not picking this entrant, then I think you're making a major misstep. And that is Scarlet Witch. Scarlet Witch for only $2. $2. Now, we're still in our budget because right now we had $9 with Iron Man and Doctor Strange. That was at $9 now, going with Scarlet Witch. Now we have an additional $2. That puts us at $11. $11, Scarlet Witch. She's only $2. How do you not take this one? This was the biggest. Now, this meme was created, look, more power to you, but major accident by putting her at only 2. I think there's a popularity part of this equation that they're really factoring in. But Scarlet Witch, she almost took down Thanos. Need I remind you, she almost took down Thanos by herself in Endgame. If it wasn't for the Rain of Fire that Thanos brought down, which he even attacked his own team just to get out of it, Scarlet Witch was ready to get rid of him all on her own. She could almost single-handedly take down Thanos. And you get that character for $2. For $2. Someone who could take down Thanos. Remember, Thanos beat down the Hulk. Thanos wiped out everybody, but by herself, almost took down Thanos. I cannot stress. I know you got hair. I cannot stress enough how big of a steal that is. To me, if you don't pick Scarlet Witch, you're making a major misstep, because Scarlet Witch is definitely a major steal. So that's my pick. Easily going with Scarlet Witch here. That's not even a question. That's not negotiable. And so far, all these characters that I've picked so far, easily non-negotiable for me. You got the Master of Magic on here. The only counteract you possibly could say is that maybe Loki, but Loki does not prove to have the mastery of ability, control over an Infinity Stone, like Doctor Strange does. Sorcerer Supreme, like Doctor Strange, or at least Doctor Strange, Sorcerer Supreme level. Hold on. Okay, Dale's going with Hulk. Okay, your third pick is Vision. All right, there we go. Eking it out one by one. Now that's what I like to see. Okay, so but Doctor Strange, Master of Magic, and then I got Science on the other hand with Tony. So I got the smartest guy on the board, and then I got Magic on my side. I don't know. I'm looking pretty strong. But in case that's not enough, Scarlet Witch. Now I want to remind everybody in the MCU, it is technically telekinetic power. She's not actually magic. Although maybe in the future we'll see she has more control over magic than we originally thought. But as of right now, I want to specify. So if you think I'm being redundant with Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch, I want to point out it is technically two different skill sets. And we also know that Scarlet Witch can use her mind powers to give people hallucinations. So that's something else to point out. Something else strong. But okay, now with that consideration, let's go back and look at some of your picks and see what I think about them. So let's go back to Base Up, who has amended his to get rid of Ant-Man and instead put on Doctor Strange, which is definitely a better pick. He went with Thor. Okay, so Thor does add some strength to it, and being from Asgard does give that. Added Groot, interesting pick. Strong guy. Scarlet Witch went with that. Yes, agreed. And then he went with Quicksilver for speed. My biggest problem with that one is actually Quicksilver, because remember, he didn't make it out of Avengers 2 alive. So I gotta admit, I don't think he's all that... Yeah, super speed, awesome. If you're Flash, definitely get stuff done. Speed is normally one of the first things I look for. But, Quicksilver, how'd he do? I'm just saying, doesn't seem very effective. Vinny Montana, and by the way, we're just having playful banter. I'm not knocking anybody's picks or anything like that. I'm just giving my critiques. Okay, so Vinny Montana says, it's Vinny Montana's team now. He went with Hawkeye, Spider-Man, Black Panther. Captain Marvel is not on the list, Vinny Montana. You gotta look. You gotta look. She's not there. Because, well, Scarlet Witch almost took down Thanos. One-on-one, I will say, Captain Marvel almost could have too. And I think one of the major parts of why Captain Marvel didn't was she was just trying to get the gauntlet off instead of actually beating Thanos. Now, you could have made the argument that, beating Thanos probably would have been a little more efficient, but still, you just can make that argument. So Captain Marvel, not an option, Vinny Montana. You can't pick. You gotta look at the dollar amounts, and you gotta look who's actually on the list. So, that's for one. Then we go to Hawkeye. Hawkeye's an interesting choice. I don't think he's worth the money. He has no superpowers. He's very expensive. He's not the most expensive, but he's pretty high on the list. You kind of can't. For me, you kind of can't go with Hawkeye on this one. Hawkeye just doesn't work. Oh, you did mention. Okay, I'm sorry. You did fix yours team. So I apologize. Hawkeye, Spider-Man, Ant-Man. Okay, so you just went with those three. Yeah, Hawkeye to me is just not worth it. Harry Flynn, Captain America, respectable. Black Widow. I think you have her because you got a bit of a crush on her, but Black Widow, again, no superpowers, very expensive, even more expensive than Hawkeye. Don't really see what value she has on the list. I just don't think she's worth it, especially if you're going to say you want to take her for her ability to, she is a good infiltrator, for sure. She's a good fighter. However, if you're going with someone for a fighter, I think you're better off going with Gamora, who is possibly a better fighter than Black Widow, but costs you a whole $2 less. So that's a significant price saving on there. So that's what I think. Oh, double I didn't see Black Panther. Yep, gotta amend that, huh? Okay, so hold on. So Dale Santaford's team is Captain America, Vision, Hawkeye, Hulk, Avengers Assemble. Oh, not bad. Okay, so Captain America and Hulk, definitely the majority of your team. Wait a minute. Does that add up? Wait, yes, it does. Again, Hawkeye's a weird choice. Hawkeye's cool. I'm not like one of those guys who hates on Hawkeye. I just don't think he's worth it. He's pretty expensive, and he's a dude with no superpowers. Double is his Thor, Spider-Man, Black Panther, and Star-Lord. Star-Lord is an interesting pick. Surprised you went there. Especially for the money, I think for the money you're better off with Loki. That's what I think with that specific last spot. Thor again. So for $1, who else is better than Quicksilver? Vision. Look, Vision jobs way too much. I like to use the terminology. Vision does job, but Bucky is pound for pound the best fighter you're gonna get. But let me look at the strategy here. So you have Thor. Wait, you fixed your team. So you have Thor, Doctor Strange, Groot, Scarlet Witch, and of course Quicksilver. So for that extra $1, here's something I've noticed that your team is missing. You don't really have combat, hand-to-hand skills too much on lock. Thor is probably the best fighter you have, and we know that Thor really isn't that good of a fighter. It's just his magic powers that get him through the way. So I don't know. I think you're better off with Bucky, personally speaking, or at least War Machine. Either of those guys I think is a better choice. What about Iron Man, Widow, Spider-Man, War Machine? I don't know. That's your pick. You can go for it. Whichever you want. Warhawk Rainbow says Quicksilver lost a Flash. Oh yeah, but we're going with MCU only, not comic books, because this is an MCU list. But however, that is true. Quicksilver, and also let's not forget about the Marvel versus DC crossover. They also fought there too. Okay, Spunny could web the floor and stop Quicksilver. Well, that is true. Okay, so that is your team. Vision or War Machine or a Steel. Yes. I will say though, they are way undervalued. Now I'm gonna start revealing the rest of my process. So I have $11, so I could do a couple things from here. I could clear out the bottom, the $1. I could pick everybody except one person on the $1 tree, which, as you know, won't be Quicksilver. I could get 2 people from remaining from the $2 well, or I could get 1 person from the $3 well, and then 1 person from the $1 well. But now let's hear the breakdown. Or I could get, or I could just get 1 person from the middle from this list. But here's the thing: Hawkeye's to me. Well, let me break it down. In terms of the $3 list, Loki is actually a pretty good, has a really high value. The only reason I'm not going for Loki is I have a quasi magician with Scarlet Witch, but I have Doctor Strange. And so whether Loki's better at magic than Doctor Strange is, who knows? Maybe. But my biggest reason I'm not going for Loki is because I could save $1 if I just go with Loki instead of Strange. But the big reason I can't go with Loki is you just can't trust this dude. You can't trust that dude. I mean, come on. He'll flip on you for a dime. He can't even master an Infinity Stone like Doctor Strange does. So you know what? Loki? Nah. Star-Lord. Cool guy. Pretty decent at certain things. Had a good strategy for taking down Thanos. But as a whole, kind of dim. And again, really not superpowers. And in terms of tactical advantages for his guns and all that stuff, don't really see a point in going for him. Groot, same thing. Groot's cool with the guns, and he is pretty strong, but he's not the biggest draw for me. He doesn't accomplish the most bang for your buck. And while Wasp does accomplish more than Ant-Man does, also not going for her either. I don't think the shrinkage really is that important of a power. The stings are cool, but again, I think my money's better spent elsewhere. Now, next for the $2 well, we have Rocket Raccoon, good technological guy. Oh, pretty good with a gun, but I have Iron Man. I don't need him. He doesn't accomplish that. Now, one thing you will be noticing from my team, though, is I am pretty low on strength. You can make the argument that with Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch, I don't need muscle, but I'd like to have some. So, Drax, actually, not the worst pick in the world. Is he super strong? No. Is he strong as the Hulk? Absolutely not. But I can't afford the Hulk, and we'll get and Thor, also another one who is not as strong as the Hulk, but pretty good muscle, but can't afford either of them. Both $1 short for both of them. So can't get Thor, can't get Hulk. Captain America also pretty strong, surprisingly strong in the MCU. In the comic books, sometimes he's peak human. In the MCU, it's pretty clear that he has superpowers. However, still, again, can't use them. Black Widow, not touching Black Widow. So going back, well, I mean, not picking Black Widow for this particular game. Then in $2 well, we have Nebula. Nebula, same thing. Can't trust her. Can't count on her. Plus, she's a robot. I'd rather have Tony Stark on this team. And if we were going to go the robotics route, Vision, down below, much better deal. Much better deal. Abby Hogan, that's cute. Next. And then finally on the $1, and so on the lowest tier, on the $1, I'm not going with Quicksilver. One and done in Avengers 2. Clearly doesn't have a lot of skill on that. Falcon, hey, he's now Captain America, but I don't really, I like the flying ability, but again, I got other people who can fly. Scarlet Witch can fly. Doctor Strange can fly. Iron Man can fly. I don't need Falcon. I don't need him. Bucky. Now, I will say, value-wise, Bucky is an absolute steal, and so is War Machine, and so is Vision. So these three characters, I think, are amazingly discounted. So I do feel like they are very, very tempting to get all three of them. However, if I get all three of them, I only have one. That will leave me with $1 left, and I would have to pick either Falcon or Quicksilver. And while that's fine, and I am getting a lot of bang for my buck, War Machine, again, very similar to Iron Man. I don't need both of them. Bucky, he's arguably he is one of the better fighters on this list. Between Captain America, Black Widow, Black Panther, Gamora, Hawkeye for sure. He's up there as one of the top 5 best fighters. But again, when I have so much magic and and I have so much power on my side, do I need fighting? And let's not forget, Iron Man held his own against Captain America and Bucky at the same time. He wound up ultimately losing the fight to Cap, but when he was able to hold his own against both of them, wow, Bucky has taken down Black Widow, as we mentioned, with a sniper rifle, and Bucky has been able to hold his own against Cap. I really do have to point out that Iron Man's not as good of a fighter. Iron Man held his own, so he may not technically be as good, but nonetheless, he was still in the fight, and that's really all that counts at the end of the day. So let me go ahead and check out what you guys are saying on the chat while I'm at it. Yes, and let's see where we're at. Okay, so who's smarter, Batman or Iron Man? Good question. Now, I will point this out. In DC, Batman is generally regarded as the 1 or 2 smartest humans in the entire DC universe. We'll take a side note to talk about this. Lex being the other one. As far as I'm concerned, Batman's number 2. Mr. Terrific is number 3, as he is touted as the 3rd smartest man in the universe. But this also doesn't count aliens or robots like Brainiac, who's both. It's just talking about pure humans. So he's number 2 in his universe, and in the comic books, Iron Man is number 2 in his universe, because in the movies, while Tony is the smartest guy, it's really Reed Richards. In the comic books, it's Reed Richards. Reed is by far the smartest dude in all of the Marvel comics. So that's a difference there. But while they're both number 2, Marvel comes from a much more fantastical world, I would say. Let's look at Tony's accomplishments versus Batman's. Iron Man is capable of building more stuff. He has different intelligence. Batman has the detective skills for sure, but Iron Man has been building more stuff. Iron Man has been accomplishing more things. I would put it on Tony is smarter than Batman, despite that they are both number 2 in their universes. I just look at it that Reed is also way smarter than Lex. Reed is probably one of the smartest guys in all of fiction, but that's how I look at it. I bet my $20 in exchange for $15 in exchange for 30 double A. That's not how this game works, but I tried. All right, Base Up says, Dave, how would your team take down Thor, Doctor Strange, and Scarlet Witch? Doctor Strange and canceled each other. Well, I'm not done yet, because I still got more money left. Remember, I still got a few bucks left. This is Dave is also technically immortal. Well, that's great if we can plant him and wait for a battle. But that's probably not going to happen. And I don't know about technically, because I'm pretty sure there are ways to get rid of him for good if we wanted to. Anyway, Dale says Vision is more like Martian Manhunter than Steel is more like War Machine or Hardware from Ultra Force Prototype. Yes. Do you play Fortnite? I don't. I tried it, and I don't understand it. So if you're having Ant-Man is so bad, then I'll replace him with Spider-Man. Oh, really? Okay. Interesting cause. I'm just saying, you could keep him, but that's what I'm looking for. Technically, Red Robin is smarter than Batman is a kid with no equipment who's able to figure out Batman. That's a fair point. Figure out the identity. Jason Todd did that as well. But that's in one personal regard. Batman has created a lot of technology, has created some low-level tech. Batman has made the argument that his deductive skills are definitely not as good as Tim Drake's. It's even been argued that it's not as good as Green Arrow, Blue Beetle, or Elongated Man. I'm not sure if I go that far, but it has been argued by some that they're all better detectives than he is. But Batman has, if I recall correctly, admitted that Tim Drake's a better detective than he is. But even so, all around, Batman has still accomplished a lot of intelligence feats. It's just that the things he does is not even close to what Iron Man has done. And because Iron Man's more important with the accomplishments, Iron Man's more capable, is more on Lex's level, but Reed is above all of them. Iron Man can build things. Iron Man can create stuff. He can figure things out. Mathematical skills. Granted, the machines are doing most of the work for him, but tactile skills. And remember also, when the MCU came about, Iron Man got a huge upgrade even in the comics. They made him way smarter than he typically was. Iron Man does have more of his intelligence than Batman. Yeah, it's just that their feats. Iron Man accomplishes more. Could never relate to Iron Man and never really liked him. Oh, okay, well, hey, you're allowed. Dave, would you rate my team? Dale Sensford, I will. Sorry about that. We'll get to that there. Okay, so Dale says team is Captain America, Vision, Hawkeye, Hulk. Captain America, Vision, Hawkeye, Hulk. Okay, all right, okay. Again, I don't think Hawkeye is the most useful person here. I think you're much better off either picking somebody else on that tier, or just going with a bunch of smaller guys. I find that to be the biggest hole in this. Captain America. Now, Captain America is somebody I'm definitely feeling the burn on. I would love to pick. Thanos is smarter than Iron Man. Is he? He didn't. Iron Man beat him, so I mean, Iron Man not smarter than him is all I'm saying. Also, take into account actual intelligence versus the technology doing the work for you, or minions doing the work for you. Because we know Tony does a lot of the work by himself, and he also created an element. I mean, that's a scientific achievement that actually does happen in real life, but it's not easy to do. Tony actually created his own element. I mean, let's just break it down like that. But anyway, Captain America is one of the biggest now. Hulk, I'm missing. There are a couple of components right now to my team that I'm missing. I'm missing a solid fighter. I'm also missing strength, and I'm also missing leadership. But to be fair, Tony does very low-key accomplish some of these goals. As I said, he was able to hold his own against both Captain America and Bucky simultaneously. He ultimately lost the Cap, but still, in terms of fighting, he's definitely not the best. His suit does take into account a lot of that, so I will put it that way. And strength, he can pick up a lot of stuff. The Iron Man suit, again, it's the suit, but he can pick up quite a bit, so he's not as strong as the Hulk, but let's remember, he also beat the Hulk. And the Hulk has also shown he's capable of beating Thor. So again, while he's definitely OP, Iron Man is a solid pick, which is why I went with him first. So when we look at the top tier level, he does showcase why he is that high on there. And out of all of them, financially, I can't justify spending that amount of money on anybody else, on more than one person on this list. And the one person I picked is Iron Man, and I'm just staying with that. And I couldn't afford at this point to pick anyone else either. He gives Batman and Tony room for his money. Who's BP? Oh, Black Panther. In the comic books, see, here's the weird part about, now we're going to go on to the next tier because I do want to bring something up. Black Panther, now I could afford Black Panther, and he is a solid leader. He also is pretty capable in the movies that we see, but here's the problem with it. In the comic books, Black Panther is one of the smartest guys in all of the Marvel comic books. Not in the MCU. In the MCU, they gave a lot of his brain power to Shuri. Instead of, like, Black Panther is usually the guy who makes all that kind of gear, who knows how all that science and technology. But they gave the role to his little sister in the movies. Well, that's fine and all. I got no problem with that. I actually think Shuri's a cool character. And hey, she introduced me into the Avengers when I did the Avengers VR. So, me and her are friends now because she counted on me to, save the day. That was real. It was canon. Shut up. It happened. Anyway, point of the matter is, if it was Black Panther from the comic books I was dealing with, I'm picking him for sure. Because I get the brains with it, and yeah, I know I'm pretty high on the brain department, but I'm one of those guys who really is going to go after intelligence. And while Black Panther in the movie is still pretty smart, he's not Shuri smart, which he's supposed to be, and because he's not, that I take away from him. But also, strength, as I said, I'm missing fighting, I'm missing strength, and I'm missing leadership. Granted, he's a pretty decent leader, he's a pretty good leader. Strength-wise, the suit does a lot of work, but I don't think it can lift more than Tony can. Suit for suit. It's a better suit in certain regards, but it can't fly, so he does miss out on a lot of things. So while the suit's there, I don't think I'm getting anything out of the Black Panther suit that I can't get from Iron Man's suit. And plus, remember, Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch are still there, so I don't think I get much. I wouldn't mind the idea of him being a leader, though. I think he's a better leader than Tony, for sure. But I'm not willing to make that sacrifice just for that. You and Black Widow not canon? Sure it is. Why not? No Noah Lair. Not that I know of. Hey, what's up, Broader Reflex? Not our one. Not on the list now, is he? Cap has a lot of grit. He does have a lot of grit. Cap is one of the biggest ones I feel bad about. Black Panther 2, I also want to go with that. And as I said, if it was Black Panther for comic books, I'm taking them all day. But because it's Black Panther from the movie, can't put him in there. Especially when we saw the big fight. He had one goal. He was trying to get at Bucky, and all of Civil War he couldn't do it. Like, he got a couple of shots in, but he can't take down Bucky. Like, he's definitely not as big as he is in the comic books. Again, comic book Black Panther, total different ball of wax. Because while Tony got upgraded, I think Black Panther got dumbed down a lot. I think they toned him down, like, significantly, which I think is weird. I don't know why Happy's on this list. It's a very strange choice. I'd rather have Nick Fury, Coulson. Why aren't they? I'd rather have them than Happy Hogan. And again, Captain Marvel not on this list, very weird. So there are people there. Nigel Montoya says, Black Panther can lift 2 tons, so why not? Again, don't I get that with Tony? So he does accomplish a lot of the goals I'm missing, but not 100%. So moving on. Let's just go out of the way and just say, so I could break it down. My whole team is going to ride on just this one last pick I'm going for, and I'm picking Spider-Man. Not only is he my favorite character of all time, favorite superhero, favorite Marvel superhero, favorite Marvel character and favorite superhero, well, favorite comic book superhero from the Marvel or DC world, but Spider-Man is very underrated for his strength. A lot of people tend to forget about Spider-Man's ability and strength. He is quite capable of lifting a lot. Now, in the comic books, yeah, he's a 10-ton dude. He can lift a lot. Same thing. But while we haven't seen that necessarily in the movies, we don't know the limits of his strength. He was able to pull that ferry together. He was able to lift up those big giant pieces of metal on him. He is capable, strength-wise, of carrying a lot. His suit and the spider sense and all that. And now fighting-wise, yeah, I'm still lacking that. He's definitely not the best fighter for sure. But I feel safe again with Iron Man, Doctor Strange, and Scarlet Witch. Harry, you keep making me want to say Black Widow. I know they're different. It throws me off because Scarlet Witch and then Scarlett Johansson, they're played by, anyway, confuses me. Anyway, I think I'm safe with Scarlet Witch there. So and there are rumors, and while we can't go on to rumors in New Window just yet, there are people talking that Spider-Man is going to be maybe more of a leader in the MCU if they can procure the rights for him. But either way, there is a lot going on with Spider-Man. While I'm still lacking on... So, he accomplishes the strength department, and I think he's a solid pick. I am missing a little bit of fighting. I am missing a little bit of leadership. But I think Tony handles both of those good enough. And especially with Spider-Man there, too. Strength was the biggest component I was looking to fill the gap for, and so I get that. I think I get that with Spider-Man. And remember, also, his new Tony suit also enhances his strength. So he has that as well. And in addition, with all the sensors and doohickeys and also his spider sense, all that built into the program, he is also able of fighting a little bit better too. So we do have that additional enhancement there. I will also point out that Hulk was definitely very tempting to, in this top tier, but couldn't afford him. Just same thing with Cap. But Hulk, because remember, Hulk is not the smartest guy, but he's the second smartest guy in the MCU on this list. Because he kind of made time travel. Couldn't quite get there, but he almost kind of did. And he's got strength. But when you look at it, he got beat down by Thanos, and Tony beat Thanos. Can't justify it. Out of all of them, the top tier, this is really what it comes down to, is the top tier. The choice of Iron Man is really what got me, is really what dictated how everything would go. So that is my final team: Scarlet Witch, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, and Iron Man. I'm looking at accomplishments again. I'm not saying this is airtight. There are a couple of other things I'm missing. I am missing pure fighters. While I don't think they're the biggest asset, I am... Considering my overpowered team, I am missing a little bit of that, because I do like the pure fighter thing, even though I don't think it's necessary. And I am missing a little bit of leadership, because I don't really have the most leadership here. But let's catch up for what everyone's saying. You're my well. Thank you, Noah Lear. Black Panther is like a Tony Steve hybrid, kind of, but not quite there. And then because he's a little underrated, because they toned him down, I cannot stress how much them toning T'Challa down in the MCU. Well, the movie was great. I love that movie. You guys know that. I've talked about it on the Wrestling Channel. When it comes to Black Panther as the character and his capabilities, they have played him down significantly in the MCU, and it's something nobody really notices because he is so much smarter in the comic books, and he's a much better fighter in the comic books. Because, look, his cousin, I know he technically didn't beat him because the challenge was still happening, but I mean, come on, Michael B. Jordan threw him off the It was just an oversight, and he stayed alive through some shenanigans. But in all realistic, he came through in the end with that cool move. But I mean, come on, he didn't really win the fight. I mean, he kind of did. But I'm just saying, in the comic books, he's more of a ninja. He's a way better fighter. That never would have happened in the comic books. And plus. Plus, M'Baku gave him, he still beat M'Baku, but M'Baku gave him a pretty decent run. I think he's a better fighter in the comic books. I think he's way smarter in the comic books. So, yeah, that's one thing. Oh, Game Tech is here, and he says, Doctor Strange, Captain America, Thor, Vision, and that's yours. Ooh. You know what strikes me as so weird? It's everyone, I think, notices that, no, that Vision is way low, but yeah, he's kind of a steal. But yeah, tell me who your biggest steals are, because you know mine. It's Scarlet Witch. Almost took down Thanos, and it's $2. You have to get that. So everybody, tell me who you think your biggest steal is. All right. So Base Up says your team is Iron Man, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, Scarlet Witch. Seriously, Dave, how does your team beat you? Look, dude, Thor loses to everybody. Okay. I don't know why you think Thor is powerful. Thor couldn't go for the head. So Scarlet Witch and or Doctor Strange is taking down Thor. Iron Man can't. I'll concede. I'll give you that. Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch cancel each other out. Absolutely. So, but now, see, you're only looking at the differences. So you're looking at Thor and Quicksilver and Vision, and I've got Iron Man, Spider-Man. Okay. If you want to talk about the canceling out factor, okay. I get that mentality, but first of all, Quicksilver ain't nothing. Quicksilver got stopped by bullets, alright? Regular bullets. He's out. Your boy Vision, as it was pointed out, he jobs a little too much. Well, he seems powerful. How's he do? How's he do most of the time? Thor and Iron Man, when they met in Avengers 1, and again, we're talking about just the movies, yeah, Thor seemed to have gotten the better of him. He accidentally charged his suit up, but, whatever. But Spider-Man, the two of them together, I think they're a much more better team. Quicksilver and Vision, Vision on paper seems like he should, but he doesn't accomplish anything, so here you go. Let's go moving forward. My all-time favorite hero is Captain America. He reminds me of myself before Cap get his powers. Gotcha. Got hiccups. Game Tech, look, I hear you. This is about, I said this first thing, they beefed Tony up way too much in the movies. I am not arguing this in any way, shape, or form. I'm just pointing out that in terms of logic and the expense, I have to go with him because while he is OP, they made him something of they beefed him up way too much because of his popularity. I'm still gonna take advantage of it because it's still there. His wins are still his wins, so I gotta go with it. I'm not even arguing with you, Game Tech. I'm not even the biggest Iron Man fan. I'm just going with the logic. All right, so the movie jumped Hulk out pretty bad. They did. Hulk is another dude in the comic books, huge. Breaking down everything. They treat him like the nuclear option, but in the movies, not so much. Tony never should have beat Hulk. I was mad about that. And if Thanos, they said, use the Infinity Stone, the Power Stone, to beat the Hulk, I get it. But if you notice, the Infinity Stone doesn't go off. It's sad, but Thanos beat Hulk straight up. That ain't cool. Is Thor strong? Is Thor stronger than Hulk? No, absolutely not. You saw Thor get punched all across the room from Hulk. Hulk can beat him. Remember in Ragnarok, it was yeah, no, I won. I totally won. No, he didn't. Hulk has his number. Hulk definitely wins. Base Up says Quicksilver knocks out Scarlet Witch before she can react. That's on your team too, though. And obviously, he doesn't do all that well. Like I said, he was a one and done character. That Quicksilver, if you were talking Days of Future Past X-Men, maybe you have a shot. Ron Halden says, his team is Iron Man, Black Panther, Doctor Strange, and Vision. I totally get that team. Those work for me. I totally get that. Yeah, I got no beef with that. That's actually pretty solid. I get it. It's not my team, but I get it. But Ron Hawthorne, again, the biggest deal for me, Scarlet Witch. And because of Scarlet Witch, she almost took down Thanos by herself. She's easily the biggest deal. Okay, hold on. Oh, 1 second, folks. Hulk needed a comedy gimmick change to stay relevant. Oh, that's sad. I think comedy gimmicks never make anyone stay relevant. The teamwork of Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver will take down your Scarlet Witch because Scarlet Witch is a glass cannon and Quicksilver can take her out. I don't think that's true. My team of Iron Man and Spider-Man is strong. See, now you want to talk about the teamwork? My team is Iron Man and Spider-Man. Now that is a solid team. Much better than Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, okay? Robert Reflex says, that's my list, but what are we talking about? Movies. We're talking about the movies. That was the key. Because this list, as you can see, is all MCU people. Or, they're all the pictures from the MCU. Alright, but yeah, so that's my team. Thank you for sharing yours. Some cool teams, yeah. Ron, not surprisingly, I think, aside from my own, I actually think, I think we're like-minded enough on that, Ron. As I said, I hear your complaints about Iron Man. I get it, but I wish I didn't use the old word, but what are you going to do? Cap could lift Thor's hammer. That he could, but unless you have Thor on your team as well, that kind of doesn't do you any good now, does it? Captain America's great. Like I said, the biggest regret, like two biggest wishes I have, the three guys I really wish I was on the team is Captain America and Hulk, and Black Panther. But to be fair, to be honest here, I don't think Captain America should be $5. Like, he's a little too high. Hulk should, but Cap I think is a little too high. Hawkeye's way too high. I don't know why Hawkeye costs so much money. Like, this is mind-blowing to me. I get it because Captain America is one of the OGs, so you put him up there. But Cap, I really wish I could put him on. I really, really do. Like, that's probably my biggest regret because he's probably he's one of, if not the best fighter on this board. But he's also he's definitely the best leader. So, like, I really, really kind of I would want to put him on, but just couldn't afford it. Because if I pick both Cap and Tony, then I only have $5 to play with left. And then if I pick Scarlet Witch, which I'm definitely going to, I can't pick Doctor Strange. And Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch are both non-negotiable for me, so that's what it comes down to. And plus, if I do pick Scarlet Witch, or if I pick just Doctor Strange, then I'm stuck with like Bucky. And if I pick Scarlet Witch, then I'm stuck with somebody in the $3 range, and the $3 tier to me is useless. Like, there's nobody in that $3 tier that really tempts me. Gamora and Loki are the most tempting, but I don't want either one of them. You like Quicksilver in the X-Men movies more than the Avengers movies? Agreed. I don't like the look of him in the X-Men movies, though. I think he looks weird. I think he looks like a grandma with a silver jacket. Thor took the blast of a star. How does Spider-Man and Iron Man take him down? That's fair, but again, how'd he do against Thanos? How'd Tony do against Thanos? The problem with Thor is he has all the powers in the world. He should be stronger. He should be better. He should be smarter. He should be he's got he's got over 1,000 years of experience. He's got all these things. But when push comes to shove, he cracks under pressure. Like Hulk, as I said, Hulk whooped him. Like Hulk embarrassed him. Like he's just a jobber for Hulk. But Thor Thor's accomplishments are so minuscule. He's too dumb most of the time. He's not the brightest bulb in the box. So yeah, he's capable of doing a lot, but he gets outsmarted by Loki constantly. He blew a shot against taking down Thanos, where Tony made it count. All right. Who can Thor realistically beat? Like in a one-on-one fight, while he has more power, I think Captain America has taken down Thor. Tony beating Thanos was luck. He outsmarted him. See, it wasn't luck, dude. Like he totally knew what he was doing, making that extremis armor. Infinity Gauntlet gems, come together. He made that. He outsmarted Thanos. He won that on brains, and he had the brains to make it. He didn't win it off of dumb luck. He made that. he earned it. Like, I'll give him that. He earned it. Plot armor, plot armor or not, he made it. Thor was beating the crap out of him during Ragnarok without his hammer. Watch the fight again. Thor's beating the crap out of who? Hulk? Hulk was going to take him at the end. Yeah, Thor got his stuff in, but he wasn't beating the crap out of him. Hulk was ready to go, and that's exactly when and everything stopped. Hey, Game Tech. Yeah. And again, first Avengers movie, punches on one hand and sends him flying. And when they threw down in the Avengers movie, Thor couldn't handle it. Yo, Hulk, look at all the times they tussled. Hulk gets the better out of him. Hulk is easily stronger than him. And Thanos beat Hulk, and Tony beat Hulk. And Tony beat Hulk and Thanos. So it's also not luck on that front too, because he was capable of beating both Thanos and Hulk. Again, I'm not cool with that, but whatever. During the end, Thor was about to destroy Hulk, but the Grandmasters saved Hulk. I feel it was the other way around. I think you're misinterpreting that ending. And plus, even if you want to give it that fight, look at the other two. Look at the other two. How'd he do there? Just saying, base up. Can you go live on a wrestling channel tonight? I was just on it, buddy. You were just there. Remember, we have our secret code that we're going to work out? I was just there, man. Granted, I understand technological issues. Dude, I don't know what was going on with the audio. It was totally, totally whatever. Hulk isn't called the strongest one there is for no reason. Thank you, Smiley Cat. Thank you. Face. Yeah, if I had to pick between the two of them, I'm easily going with Hulk over Thor. You could make the argument that Hulk is stupid. Yes. But, at the end, Professor Hulk, you get a smart Hulk who almost developed time travel, or kind of made time travel. And you're going to say, but when he's Professor Hulk, he's not as strong. That's in the comic books. In the MCU, they never specified any such rule. So, therefore, Professor Hulk in the MCU is a better choice. So out of the two of them, Hulk definitely over Thor. Can we do our own comic book list, not just Marvel or DC? You can, but without the dollar value, kind of hard to do. And I don't feel like making a new list, but feel free to knock yourself out. We all have our own opinions. Some might say Hulk is better than Thor. Thor is better. That is true. Everybody has opinions. Base Up knows that. Base Up knows that his opinions are mostly wrong, but whatever. Game Tech says, how about Rocket, Doctor Strange, Scarlet Witch, and Falcon? That's your team? Okay. Doctor Strange, Hulk, and Scarlet Witch. Okay. Falcon is inexpensive, so he's not, he doesn't hurt nothing. But let me see. Falcon and Rocket are the two ones that strike me as odd. I guess... I would rather go, instead of Falcon for the dollar, I would rather go with Vision, because you have a robot who's smarter and is more technological. Rocket, I think one of the major things that people overlook about Rocket is how technologically intelligent he is. He's capable of making a lot, he is capable of doing a lot of science. Yeah, he's very unpredictable and dangerous sometimes, but nonetheless, he's pretty crafty with that. So, I think that's a better value than his gun-toting ability. But for that, I don't know if he's smarter than Vision or not, but for my money, I think I'd rather have Vision for the dollar than Rocket Raccoon. And I think he's a much better value than Falcon is. Granted, we haven't seen Falcon and Bucky show yet, so, maybe we're going to learn more about Falcon, but I remember that Falcon doesn't have powers. So a major component for me is who does or does not have powers. So that's one. So I would take Vision for the $2 realm. And I guess you could stick with Rocket. Or you could take Vision, Falcon, and War Machine. The only thing I'm partially tempted to about War Machine... Now, see, on paper, War Machine should be a great leader. He's in the military and all that, but he isn't. And, he never shows any signs of leadership. So, I don't know. Hope Falcon and Bucky is good. I hope so, too. I also hope they sell it individually so I don't have to buy Disney Plus, because I refuse to. Where are you trapped in the comic book world? You have to pick your own team. Who would you pick? Any character from comic book? What? Okay, so, alright, in your world, we're trapped in a comic book world, and you have to pick your own team. Who would you pick? Any character from any comic book? Well, what's my limitations? How many can I pick? because I'll just pick all of them. I'll get out of here in no time. In the comic books, Doctor Strange is even more powerful than he is in the MCU. But in the comic books, it's definitely Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange will just undo plot. Doctor Strange is like Captain Retcon. He'll just change whatever he wants. Like if it's comic books, Doctor Strange first pick easily. Doctor Strange. He'll retcon you into oblivion. So he's like most powerful is like Doctor Strange, Silver Surfer. Like these are the guys I'm going after because they're just so unbelievably powerful. The other thing about this list that we see here is if Captain Marvel was available, she would be $5, and I would definitely take her. And yeah, Black Widow's the character that makes no sense. I have no idea why she's as much expensive as she is. Scarlet Witch is the biggest steal, as I said. Happy Hogan is the guy that I just don't get why he's here at all. Dave, only 2 fights. That's Thor and Hulk. And the first one ended in a draw. That didn't end in a draw. That ended. Thor could not hold him up. Hulk had the better of him, but Hulk got distracted by a pretty bird. Hulk was winning. The second one, Thor was about to finish Hulk, and it was weakened by Thor. I'm also pointing out at the end of the Avengers when Hulk just one-handed punched and sent him flying. That counts as a fight, and Hulk won it. Your villain team is Thanos, Ultron. Well, yeah, see, like, if there's no limits, yeah, we'll just pick everybody. Oh, if you want to pick bad guy theme, then fine. Thanos, Galactus, and somehow they're all going to listen to Lex Luthor. He's going to be the captain somehow. Yeah, it's too easy. Kang the Conqueror. It's too easy to like. Gotta get some limitations on this. But yeah, Harry, I was already on the wrestling channel just a little while ago. Hulk blindsided Thor, and then they cut away. I have no idea what happened. Yeah, I know what happened next. Thor slowly got up and looked for Band-Aids. Look, he poked them out. All right. He pimp slammed them across the room. Grand Central Station sent them on the other side, okay? I'm sorry. That counts as a win and it was a thorough embarrassment, okay? Thor has never been able to do that. And the first fight, as I said, you don't count that as a draw. Thor was barely able to hold up Hulk's fist, hammer and all. Thor got a beating, okay? They cut off both the first and third fight, yes. But Hulk got the better of it. It's not. Yeah. Like Thor's power, like there's, and plus, I would love to see Professor Hulk go against MCU Professor Hulk go against Thor and see how we do. That would be the real test of it. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. Hope you had fun with this game. And if you haven't seen this meme. I keep forgetting the webcam. I got to point the other way. I got to point the different direction of where I'm actually looking at it. If you haven't seen this, go ahead and share this around and get some of your friends' thoughts on social media because I think it's a pretty cool game. And let me know how you enjoyed this, and we'll see. And who knows? Maybe there are others floating around. Maybe I'll have to make another one of my own. One's a little more fair. But yeah, and if you're not watching this live, comment section. Hulk, Thor. Let's get into this debate. What's your team? Let me know. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. Thanks for the thumbs up. And as always, Dave knows.